take a nice wide stance, Prasarita Padottanasana. Okay. And then from deep in your right hip socket, come onto the ball of your right foot and externally rotate your right thigh. Right heel in line with left inner arch. Okay. And make sure that that rotation really started high, not just in the foot. Okay. Now firm your left outer hip into the midline. Engage your quadriceps to lift your kneecaps, and many of you will benefit from a block behind your right shin. We're heading into Utthita Trikonasana. Okay. Have your back foot at an angle. That's important to keep this back leg in Tadasana. Inhale, spread your arms. Now get a sense of the two sides of the waist equally long. As you exhale, reach out and up to the right, but firm your left outer hip in. Utthita Trikonasana. Right hand can be on the shin, ankle, or a block, but please stack your left hand directly above your right so you have a straight line of energy. Root into the floor with a big toe mound of your right foot. As you do that, use that pushing into the floor to direct your right sitting bone towards your left heel. This is to make your right waist longer. But as you direct your right sitting bone towards your left heel, keep firming the left outer hip in. Now let's find the twist in this pose. Roll your right rib cage forward, your left rib cage back. As you roll your right rib cage forward, we're also firming your right buttock forward and under towards these windows. As you roll your left rib cage back, you're also strongly pressing this left femur bone back, Tadasana in this back leg. As you rotate the ribs, try not to create a back bend here. Keep directing your front ribs to your frontal hip bones. This looks great. Slide your shoulder blades down your back, exactly. Especially the right shoulder blade tends to hunch up. Pull the head of the right upper arm back to release it. Now you can either gaze up into your left thumbnail, or if that hurts your neck, turn and look to your right big toe, but keep the two sides of the waist equally long. Okay. Take your left hand, spin it forward towards the front of your mat. Take your fingertips past your ear, pause. Okay, so we got cool in this room, but we're going to make it a little warmer. Root down through your legs and then lift your bottom arm to frame your head. Roll your right ribs forward, your left ribs back. Yes, exactly right. Find the twist without your arms. 2 more cycles of breath. Right ribs forward, left ribs back. Root down into your feet to support the work in the upper body. Take 1 more inhale, very good. Exhale, right hand back down. Inhale, left hand up, get a straight line of energy. Stay to exhale and get rooted through your feet. And then on an inhale, come all the way up. Parallel your feet, hands to your hips. Okay. Other side, from deep in your left hip socket, externally rotate the thigh. Pivot the right heel back and have a nice spacious stance here. Okay, so when we're short, it's hard to access the length in the spine. Make sure that your left heel lines up with your right inner arch. Engage your quadriceps to lift your kneecaps. Get a sense of the firming of the right outer hip. Inhale, spread your arms. Feel the two sides of the waist equally long, and in a moment it's going to be hard to keep the length in the left waist. So remember what this feels like now. As you exhale, reach out and up to the left, but firm your right outer hip. Utthita Trikonasana. Once you come into the pose, root into the floor with the big toe mound of your left foot, and use that to push the left sitting bone towards the right heel. This will give you length in your left waist. Extend the crown of your head towards the left side of your mat. Turn this foot in. Okay, make sure your back foot is at an angle, yes, so that you can keep Tadasana in your right leg. Direct your left sitting bone to your right heel, but firm the right outer hip. Then gently press the left buttock forward and under you. As you do that, roll the left rib cage forward. Push the right femur straight back towards the person behind you as you roll your right ribs back. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Take an inhale with the right arm reaching straight up. As you exhale, spin your right palm to the left and reach your fingertips past your ear. Energize that arm. Root down through your legs, and then inhale, lift the left arm so you're framing your head. Roll the left ribs forward, exactly, the right ribs back. Keep rooting into the floor with your legs. Inhales get longer. Exhales twist deeper. 2 more cycles of breath. Very nice. Final inhale here. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. Stay to exhale, get rooted through your feet. On an inhale, come all the way up. Beautiful. Parallel your feet, hands to your hips. Okay. Interlace your fingers behind your back. You can also use a strap or a towel. Make sure your feet are truly parallel. Now, there's a tendency in this pose, we're headed towards Prasarita Padottanasana, to drag down with the shoulders, which creates a lot of tension in your trapezius and overexposes C7, cervical 7. Instead, lift your shoulders slightly. Keep that slight lift in the head of the upper arm. And as you inhale, extend back and up with your triceps rather than down. Inhale, create as much space as you can between your upper arms and your upper back. And then exhale, soften your front ribs to your frontal hip bones. One more inhale here, lift your kneecaps. As you exhale, come forward. On the way down, glance at your feet, make sure they're truly parallel rather than turned out. And I'd rather that you erred on the side of being slightly pigeon-toed than were turned out. Okay. Also notice if your hips swung back behind your heels. Yes, exactly, Samantha. Shift forward with your hips so they stack directly over your heels. Press down evenly through the four corners of each foot so you're practicing a Tadasana foot. Again, turn these toes in a little bit. Yeah, other ones too. Pull up with the inner arches and firm the outer ankles. Keep taking the arms forward past your head, and if on their own they don't go past your shoulders, you can use a strap or a towel, or you can do that next time you do this pose. Take a complete cycle of breath here. Use your exhale to get rooted through your feet so that on an inhale you can use the strength of your legs to come up. Once you're up, switch the interlace of your fingers, different thumb, different index finger in front. Recommit to a parallel foot. They tend to slide open. Inhale, lift your shoulders slightly. Keep them lifted, extend back and up through your triceps. Pull the kneecaps up, engage your quadriceps. Inhale here. Now your femurs remain absolutely fixed. It's the pelvis that moves. As you exhale, come forward. On the way down, glance at your feet. Your feet are parallel when the center of your heel, turn them in even a little more, yes, lines up with the spot between your second and third toes. Shift forward so your hips stack over your heels, not behind them. Keep engaging your quadriceps to lift your kneecaps. This will facilitate the release in your hamstrings. But even more importantly for today's class, find a way to take your arms past your shoulders, even if that means using a strap or a towel so that you can find the length in your pectorals. Take another complete cycle of breath. Exhale, get rooted through your feet. Inhale, as you press down, come up. And exhale your hands to your hips.